Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. Yesterday, in my previous video, I started lesson number 10 of EVS, that is, means of communication. And in this lesson, our learning objectives are we need to keep in touch with people and different means of communication. Okay? Now, in my previous video, I explained about different types of means of communication. First, I told you what is communication. Now, communication is the process of exchanging information or knowledge or any idea between two or more than two people. Okay, to develop understanding. Now, communication means sending or receiving information. Now, there are many means of communication. We can communicate with people through many means. Now, then I explained about different modes of communication. Like communication can be oral communication, it can be written communication, it can be symbolic communication. Oral communication means when you talk to each other, when the exchange of information takes place through word of mouth, that is when it takes place verbally, then it is oral communication, like telephone, radio, television. So this is oral communication. Written communication is the communication which takes place in written manner, through which takes place through written documents. Like we exchange information through written, like writing letters, sending mails, okay, sending official documents in written form. So these are telegram. These are all written form of communication. Then I had explained about symbolic communication. Symbolic communications are the conveying information or message through symbols. So the best example is traffic lights. Traffic light is there at crossroads. It does not say anything, but through the color of light we understand that what we are supposed to do. If the light is red, we are supposed to stop. If the light is orange or yellow, then we are supposed to wait. And if the light is green, then we are supposed to wait. Then zebra crossing. Zebra crossing means you have to stop before that. Zebra crossing is meant for crossing the road. Okay? And when you travel on the road, you see various travel signs, various road signs. These are all symbolic communication. In the school, morning bell rings, you know it is time for going for assembly, or when the bell rings, you know which period has got over, or it is recess, or it is dispersal, chutti ho gayi. So this is all symbolic communication. Communication conveying the message through symbols. Okay, so now these are different types of communication. Then communication can be one way or two way. One way means when we only get the information, like radio, television, we only get the message, we only get the information. We cannot convey our message to radio or television. Newspaper, magazines, these are one way communication. But writing a letter, when you write, you get its response. When you write a mail, you get the response. When you speak on phone, you can speak to other, when you speak to other person, the other person also says something. So these are communication through two. It is a two-way communication when both the people, both or more than two people can communicate. Now, so these are different forms of communication. So today I will explain modern means of communication. Okay, means of communication in earlier times, when these means were not there, people used to go themselves, or people used to send information through pigeons, they used to uh, write the message on a paper and tie that paper on pigeons neck. Those pigeons used to be trained. Nowadays we use many modern means of communication like telephone, mobile, fax, email. By making a telephone call, we can easily speak to our friend, relative, whenever we need to do so. Another good option to call our relative is by using a mobile phone. People sitting in offices can send a written message using a fax and an email from their computer. You can see these means. This is telephone, this is mobile phone, this is fax machine. Yesterday, in my previous video, I explained about fax machine. If it is a written and lengthy document, and if it has to be sent to another city, another place immediately without any change, then we use fax machine. Okay, the letter is inserted in the machine and it reaches its destination in the same form. Okay, so these are some forms of modern means of communication. Now, methods which are applied to send messages or information to people at individual or mass level are known as means of communication. As I explained in my previous video, that the methods which are applied, means which are used, methods which are applied to send messages or information to people at individual or mass level. Mass level means large number of people at the same time. So they are known as means of communication. Now, the different means of communication which we use in the modern world are modern means of communication. Earlier, radios were there. Then after some time, television was there. Only black and white television was there. Landline phones were there. Nowadays, communicating with someone has become so easy. Okay, we have phones, we have mobile phones, and we have other so many means of modern communication. So the means which are used in modern times are known as modern means of communication. Modern means, some examples of modern means of communication are fax machine, email, video conferencing. Okay, now the best example is like right now all the schools are closed because of this coronavirus pandemic. So in almost all the school, teaching is taking place online. Okay, online means through different electronic, so different means of communication, mobile phones, laptops, computer, personal computer. There are so many apps, there are so many platforms through which online teaching is taking place. Okay, like we are making these videos and sending them for you. This is means of communication only. I am communicating with you through my phone or my laptop. Okay, and you can see the videos on your phone, on or laptop, on YouTube. So since nowadays all the schools are closed, teaching is taking place through various apps, and it is like, you can say it is like virtual classrooms. Students are having classes, you all are having classes, you all are getting your work, but without being in the class. You are not there in the class, you are not going to school, but you are getting your lessons, you are getting your exercises, teaching is taking place. So this is, what is this? This is modern means of communication only. Okay, so the technological advances of the past few decades have made it possible to So, modern means of communication are fax, email, video conferencing. The technological advances of the past few decades have made it possible to transmit printed messages, pictures, and even live performances to all the corners of the world with speed and at the same time. You are having your classes online. There are so many platforms on which these classical programs, dance programs, they are also taking place. Okay, so these technological advances of the past few decades, technological advances means the advancement in the field of technology, from animal to post office to radio, television, landline phone, mobile phones. Okay, so this is the technological advancement. So of the technological advancement of the past few years have made it possible to send printed media, pictures, messages, and even live performance. Like cricket match takes place, we see it live sitting at our home. Everyone cannot go to the ground, so we see the match, cricket match, football match, any program, Republic Day parade takes place. Okay, Independence Day parade is there, or any program of this sort takes place somewhere, maybe in another corner of the world, but we see it live sitting at our home. So this is because of technological advancement only. Okay, so and we see it live. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि उसको रिकॉर्ड कर लिया एंड देन रिकॉर्डिंग इज शोन लेटर. वी सी दीज प्रोग्राम, दीज मैचेस लाइव. That means they are taking place and at the same time we are also seeing them. So this is all modern means of communication. So these have made our life quite easy in the sense that we get the information, something happens at some place and we get the information immediately without any delay. Some important event takes place and we get, like right now we are getting all the information regarding this coronavirus sitting at home. We all are sitting at home. We all are we have been told, and it is advisable for us to stay at home only, to stay safe. So, but we are getting all the information, what is happening, what all is taking place. We are getting all the information through newspaper, through radio news, through television. We are getting all the information. So these are all, since these means are used in the modern time, they are known as modern means of mass communication. Okay. So with single touch, we can now send communication to a number of destination. Okay, with a single touch. टीवी का चैनल बटन दबाया, टीवी का चैनल ऑन किया, एंड वी कैन सी whatever is happening in the world. We can see any news, we can see any entertainment channel. Okay, and it is transmitted all over the world at the same time. So, and we have to send a message, mail karna hai, we write a mail and we can send it to many people at the same time with a single click. So these are all modern means of communication. Telephone, I have told you what is telephone. Mobile phone. With mobile phone you can talk to anyone immediately sitting in any corner of the world. किसी भी कोने में है, we can talk to them easily without any delay, without any problem. We can send messages. Now WhatsApp is so common, we can send any message, any picture, anything immediately through WhatsApp. Okay, so there are so many platforms on, so many apps, so many platforms, like YouTube is there. You can anything, YouTube पे कुछ भी लोग, people upload so many videos. Some recipes are there, cooking recipes are there, some performances are there, you can see them. Then if you wish to see any video related to any of your teaching subject, any topic, you get so many material. Then Google is there. Anything you want to know, immediately we Google it. We go to Google and search for it. Okay, we get all the related information. So these are all modern means of communication. Telephone, mobile, fax machine, video conferencing, internet. Video conferencing is talking, many people talking at the same time through video. That means they discuss also, they talk to each other at the same time, they can see also each other. So that is video conferencing. And mass communication, now this is all modern means of communication. Now people sitting in offices can send a written message using a fax and an email from their computer. Email, as I told you in my previous video also, email, if an email is sent to someone, we can get the response immediately also, because it is electronic. Email is electronic mail. And TV pe jo whatever we see on the TV matches are there, whatever we see, it is all through satellite. Okay, they get signal through satellite. We are using mobile phone. There is no, it is all wireless. It is all wireless communication. Computer is there, emails are there, whatever program we see on the TV, these are all wireless communication. Okay, so these are transmitted through satellites. Okay, they get signal through satellite. Then satellites send images of space also. Satellites are there, they take pictures of Earth from satellite and then it is transmitted. So these are all modern means of communication. Then means of, list the communication tools you know. Communication tools, I've told you about so many communication tools. Now, hanging a message on a pigeon's neck was the oldest method of communication. As I told you, the oldest method of communication was hanging a message on a pigeon's neck. People used to write their message on a paper, then they used to hang that paper on a pigeon's neck. Okay? Now, to convey a message to many people at the same time, we use means of mass communication. Mass means many people, large people. Okay, mass means large people. So, to convey a message to many people at the same time, we use means of mass communication such as newspapers, magazines, radio, and television. All those people who cannot read the newspapers or magazines can hear the news on the radio. On the television, we can both hear and see the important happenings of the day. Okay? So, means of mass communication are the message which is sent to a large number of people at the same time. Okay, so message which is conveyed to a large number of people. So mass communication is the process of imparting and exchanging information through mass media to a large number of people, through a large segment of population. So it is a process in which a person, group of people, or any organization sends a message through any channel of communication to a large group of people at the same time. Okay, so this is mass communication. Like newspaper is there, magazines, radio, televisions, advertisements. On the roadside you see big billboards, you see advertisements on television. So this is also conveying message. You see some advertisement, any advertisement of ice cream, biscuit, anything, lot of things, any clothing items, footwear, anything, and we get attracted to it. We feel like buying it. People go and buy it. Yes, maybe it is a, suppose it is an ad of some eatable, so you get attracted, buy it. So this is mass means of mass communication, because advertisement, many people see the advertisement at the same time. Roadside you see big billboards. On radio also we hear advertisements. Then on television we see advertisements. So any one person does not see it alone, so many people see it at the same time. So it is a means of mass communication. Then electronic media, all the electronic media, that is television, radio. Okay, television, radio, we hear the news. We on television we can see also. Okay, then people who cannot read the newspaper or magazine, those who do not know how to read, they can hear the news on television or hear the news on radio also. On television we see the visuals also along with the news. On radio we can only hear it, but on television we can see the visual also, what is happening. Then internet, films. Films are also a means of communication. There are so many films which convey very good messages. So they are also means of communication. They communicate with people. The newspapers, as I told you, magazines, I told you, radio and TV, they spread news as well as entertain us. On radio we hear songs also. Movies ke gaane aate hain. The other bhajans, other classical songs are there. So TV and radio, they entertain us also. On television, movies come, so many entertainment programs are there, so many educational programs are there, documentaries are there. So we get the news as well as we are entertained. So these are all means of mass communication, because they convey a message to a large group of people at the same time. Then sign language. Symbolic communication, my previous video I told you about symbolic communication. Sign language. People who are deaf or dumb, that means people who are not able to hear or speak. for them sign language is used. Okay, you may have come across people who are not able to hear or who are not able to speak. Sign language is used for them, and everybody cannot use the sign language. It is a very specific type of, when they use a very specific type of signs, one has to learn it properly to use it. So they use sign language. They cannot hear, they cannot speak, but they can see. So they can see, so by seeing the language, by seeing the signs, they know what is being told, or when they wish to convey their message, they use sign language. So this is sign language, is also, you can say, it is a type of symbolic communication, because communication takes place through signs. Okay, so these are some means of, now you can see here, some means of mass communication: newspaper, radio, television, magazine. Okay, like mobile phone is a means of communication, but it is not a means of mass communication. You talk to someone, you can talk to anyone sitting in any corner of the world. So it is a means of communication. Okay, and it is a modern means of communication since it is used in the modern time, and means of mass communication which convey any message, any information to a large number of people at the same time. So magazines, newspaper, journals, films, advertisements, all these electronic media, television, radios, these are all means of mass communication. Now, did you know a modern way of communication is social network sites like Facebook, Twitter? These are all modern ways. There are so many sites. People express their views on Twitter. People express their views on Facebook. These are all social medias where many people can see them. Okay, like Twitter, people have got their own Twitter account. They keep expressing their views for anything. They keep expressing their views, and anyone can see those messages. Okay, and on like Facebook, on Facebook people express something, they write something, many people can see them. So these are modern way of communication is social networking sites. These are all social networking sites. Facebook and Twitter are the most common social networking sites. Apart from them, Instagram is there, maybe a lot more are there, but these are very common with everyone. Okay? And here we communicate with so many people through written communication. Okay, we write something, we get something in response. So this is social networking sites, you can say these are a form of written communication, and uh, these are very common and very popular means of communication. Now, telephone in which we have to put coins before using is called a payphone. Now, earlier, when people did not have mobile phones, when only landline phones were there, and that too with very few people, there used to be telephone booths. Okay, payphones used to be there. The system was such that 1 rupee coin had to be inserted. There was used to be a slot, and 1 rupee coin had to be inserted before starting a coin, and that coin was valid for some time. Okay, maybe for 1 minute or 2 minutes, and if somebody wished to continue, one had to put more coins, more 1 rupee coin to continue. Okay, so it was called pay phone. Telephone booths were there. People used to go there, बात किया, bill used to be there, जो भी amount हुआ pay कर दिया. So telephone booths used to be there. Now everyone is having mobile phone, and we can connect with anyone with just a click of a button. एक button दबाया, connect हुए, and we can speak to anyone at any time of the day. Earlier, when suppose there was any emergency, suddenly somebody falls ill in the family, people wanted to inform their relatives or anyone. It used to take a long time. It was a very tedious procedure, but now we have so many ways to communicate. We have mobile phone, messages are there, WhatsApp is there. Okay, so these are very common, and these are all modern means of communication which have made our life very easy. Like right now also, you can see, by sitting at home, some places people are not allowed to go outside. They are getting items at home. So how is it possible? We order on phone, home delivery हम कराते हैं. There are so many shopping e-commerce sites like Amazon is there, Flipkart is there, Myntra is there, Snapdeal is there. We see so many things. We like something, we immediately we place the order and we get it in 2 or 3 days. So we don't even have to go out of the house. We get whatever we want sitting at home. बाहर से कुछ खाने का मन हो रहा है, चलो लेटस स्विगी, लेटस ऑर्डर ऑन जोमेटो. ऑर्डर कर दिया, when the order comes you can pay, or you can pay online also. Payment has become so easy. Paying bills has become so easy. We can pay our bills for everything, for telephone bill, mobile bill, for your dish TV, Tata Sky, all the electricity bill, all the bills, all kinds of bill, all kinds of payments are online now. So it has become so easy. Sitting at home any time of the day we can make the payments without going out, without wasting our time, without spending time. Bank mein jao, bank mein itni bheed hai, you wait for your turn to come. Instead of that, we are sitting at home, we immediately make the payment. So this is all due to means of communication. Means of communication have made our life very easy and very comfortable also. But yes, while using them we have to be careful also at the same time. Okay, so now what are the keywords? Email it stands for electronic mail and means of mass communication, such as newspaper, magazines, radio and television. As I told you, mass communication means the means which convey message to a large number of people at the same time. They are known as means of mass communication. Now I will show you some pictures of means of communication. So children, in this picture you can see some modern means of communication. You can see mobile phones, you can see television, you can see internet, then you can see fax machine, telephone, then through satellites. Okay, all these communication takes place. This is all wireless communication and this takes place through satellite. Okay, here you can see many people sitting together and discussing something. This is called video conferencing. This is social networking sites. Okay, maybe it may be Facebook, where people write their views, people write about something, other person reads it, then other person expresses his or her views. Okay, so this is, you can see telephone, this is satellite. Through Bluetooth we can connect with another phone. This is mobile phones, this is mobile phone, this is your maybe computer screen. Okay, so these are all modern means of communication. See here, these are again some means of communication. Yesterday I told you, in my previous video I told you about loudspeaker. When someone has to address a large number of people at the same time, people use loudspeaker or mic. Okay, so you can see it. Then this anchor is saying something on the mic. This is, you can see, video camera which is used to shoot. Then this is film roll. Okay, this is satellite through which the signals are sent. Radio is there. They are all social networking sites. Okay, so these are again some means of communication. Then these are means of mass communication. Mass communication, as I told you, which addresses a large number of people at the same time. So through satellite we get the signal, we get the message. Here you can see so many means of communication. Again, means of communication, means of mass communication, means of communication, modern means of communication, they are almost same. It is just that we have categorized them. Okay, this you can see Twitter handle, Facebook is there, then other social networking sites are there. Then next is mass communication. Newspaper, many people read the newspaper at the same time, okay, and get the news. Then magazines, whosoever reads the magazine gets the news. Radio, radio sunte hain, anything is announced, anything is there, any news is there, everybody gets to know about it. Television, there are so many channels. English channels are there, Hindi channels are there, regional language channels are there. One can one can select the channel as per his or her choice, any language, okay. Then this is internet. You all study computer. This is your एड्रेस इंटरनेट में जो उसका एड्रेस होता है कोई भी वेबसाइट का, वेबसाइट एड्रेस. सो these are all means of mass communication. Then personal communication is also there. Personal communication, when only two people talk to each other. It can be face to face, like when you talk to someone face to face, okay, when you are sitting there, when you are there, and when you talk to someone face to face, or when you write a letter and post it, then you speak to someone on telephone, you send an email to someone. So these are all forms of personal communication. Like newspaper, magazine, radio, these are not these are all means of mass communication. They are not meant for personal communication, okay, because on TV, if just one person cannot see it, one person does not see it, so many people see it at the same time. So these are all forms of mass communication. Personal communication is talking to someone face to face, or calling someone, talking to someone on phone, or writing, sending an email, or writing a letter and posting it. So these are all personal communication. So these are all forms of communication. Some are written means of communication, some are verbal or oral means of communication, some are symbolic means of communication, some means of communication are one way, some are two way, some are mass means of communication. So I'll stop now, and in my next video we will do the recapitulation of the lesson, and then we will do the exercise. Thank you, children.